There is a violinist, an artist, a household name, a great violinist, who I grew up on that person's recordings, met in person several times, and will never ever send any of my students to that person's masterclass. And the reason is that it's not a masterclass, it's an act. I know it because I've been to that person's masterclass situation and sent students to that person's masterclass situations several times in the last few decades, and it's always the same thing. Now, we all, as teachers, we all repeat ourselves. There are speech patterns, some jokes we really like, our views on Bach, never change, and we try to put people on our way. So we do repeat ourselves, but this is a different level, because no matter who's coming and who's playing, it's always the same thing. Now, I'm not going to name the name. I think if you're in the know, we all know who that person is. The first one comes in, plays. 2 minutes later, he or she is being stopped and given a very basic bow exercise, and send off. Go practice, come back in 25 minutes. This is unheard of in any masterclass situation. There are people listening in. You don't do it, but it's been done here. And then the second person is being rushed in. And no matter how he or she plays, they end up playing on a chair. Sound is not out enough, you need to come out more open. Here's a chair. That's if it's a girl on high heels, it's even better. You put the high heels down, you go up. Look, finish. Now the first person comes in. They did open strings for 25 minutes or 20 minutes. Now, lo and behold, look what a big change. Wow, amazing. So this happened in the school I was working on. And then a friend of mine from another part of the world called me and says, that person is coming doing a masterclass. I'm sending a student. I said, well, just make sure your student is not the first one, otherwise they'll play open strings. And I kind of said the whole thing, and 2 days later my friend calls back and says, my God, it's word by word, like it's exactly the same thing. And then a decade later, just now, I have a private student, a retired doctor, really incredible man, and he flew to another country to listen in on a festival with this artist, prominent featuring this festival, and in doing a masterclass. And I told my student that this is going to happen, and he came back and he was like, this is incredible, exactly word for word. So no matter what you play, how much you prepared, what's your level, what you need, no matter what, this is going to happen. It's a show. It's not real. And you go to a masterclass situation, you prepare weeks and months in advance, hoping either, if you're modest, to get something that nobody else can give you, because it's a great artist, it's a great name, or being even discovered. If you live in that kind of world, if you live in that fantasy that somebody's going to discover you, it is a great recruitment grounds, masterclasses. And sometimes, yes, you're discovered as the next student who will come and study in the class. But this artist obviously has a lot to give, recordings and musicianship and everything. Why do you disrespect so much anybody who comes and prepared for so long to listen to your advice, and you just go through a theater? I don't know. I don't have any answer to that, but I will never send my students again to something like this.